Oh my. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Imagine doing that in like VR. Generic Control and theduckgoesmoo here, back with some more TF2 versus TFC. Today we have the evolution of the Scout, which is the most viewed out of the 3 that he has uploaded so far. Last week I did the evolution of the Heavy Weapons guy. If you want to check out that video, I'll leave it right up there. Also link down below in the description. Also be able to play this on my channel with all of my other Team Fortress 2 videos. Go into chronological order if you want to check those out. Going way back, going back almost 3 years now, which is insane. TF2 has such a huge impact on my life, and honestly TF2 has changed my life so much. So I'd love to hear about TFC. I actually saw a license plate that started in TFC yesterday. I was like, Team Fortress Classic. But you all were super helpful in last week's video. You all showed so much support for that as well. So thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you're subscribed. I read every single comment, so leave some down below. You all are telling about all the mods and stuff and how there's actually like animations for grenades in TF2, but they removed them, and there's like mods you can add them in, and just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So I absolutely loved that video. It was really informative, learning about Team Fortress Classic, even learning about TF2 some. So I'm very interested to hear about Scout, because you all know I love fast characters. Shout out to the patrons. They get the videos a day early, live ton of paywall on the channel. Couldn't do this without them, and just thank you everybody that's subscribed and everybody that's watching the video. Hopefully I can make your day a little bit better. Let's go ahead and jump into this video though. Okay, now we have the Scout, the Boston man himself. Wait, where is Team Fortress Classic Scout going to be from? Is he also going to be from Boston? Where?
We saw how TF2 versus Team Fortress Classic went down in the comics.
Yes, we did. I reacted to those.
In the games. What would happen if you just grabbed one class from one game and plopped them down in the other? Who would win one?
In the other.
Last time we had a very close match between the TFC Heavy and the TF2
Yeah, very
Heavy,
close.
But now
which
it's
really got determined by range.
And you know, it's kind of funny. I don't think the TFC Scout ever directly interacts with his TF2 counterpart.
Why do I never go against players like this?
The TFC Scout does directly mention him in both Expiration Date and the Deep Fried Desire Taunt.
Oh man. Classic Scout.
Classic Scout, really?
Well, let's get a few clarifications out of the way before we get to the actual match. Number one, this doesn't have anything to do with the storyline or the
No, you can't base on the story.
It's purely based on weapon stats. Number two, there will be no unlockable weapons or random crits.
No random
Only
crits?
TF2
Uncle
has
Dane
unlockable
enters the
weapons.
chat.
If you could pick and choose the exact right weapons for the exact right scenarios, it would be way too unfair of an advantage. As for random crits, I shouldn't have to explain that one. And lastly,
Uncle
we're
Dane.
trying to take everything at face value. Aside from the previous restrictions, there won't be any attempt to artificially even out any of the weapon stats. They are what they are. I know these two games are from almost a decade apart and have their own different kinds of mechanics.
That's
but
true.
You can't directly
Team
compare
Fortress
TFC
Classic is
and
like
TF2
older than me.
When they're literally two games from the same
What was it, 1996?
Then what can you compare TF2 with? And okay, alright, let's get into it.
Those are the rules, just 3
In the red
rules.
corner, he's kind of a big deal. If you were from where he was from, you'd be freaking dead. The TF2 Scout. And in the blue corner,
I doubt
he's light,
that.
he's fast. His name is Greg, the classic Scout.
His name is Greg.
Round one, ding ding. For the first round,
Health.
we're going to start with health. The
Probably
TF2
Team Fortress
Scout is
Classic,
tied for the lowest
right?
health in the game with Engineer, Spy, and Sniper at 125. The Team Fortress Classic Scout has
75, but he has
last
armor,
base
light
health of
armor.
just 75, which is the lowest of all of the TFC classes. But
But-
like all the TFC classes, he also has armor.
50
However,
armor
he only
points,
has a
but it's
maximum
light
of
armor.
50 armor points, and he also has the worst type of armor.
He's the
He,
only
along
very
with the
fast
original
class,
Sniper,
or
have
speed.
the light armor type, which only absorbs 30% of damage taken. So, for example, if he was hit by an attack with a base damage of 100, the Scout would lose 70 health points and 30 armor points.
So
which
he'd
would
have
mean that
5
he's only
health.
barely surviving that.
Yeah.
In fact, it would only take an attack with a base damage of 107 to kill the TFC Scout.
Wow.
The
TF2 Scout has
wouldn't
more
exactly
health.
Take 107 damage well,
take more
but he would
damage.
definitely live it. I mean, he would even live it if he had the Sandman equipped, which lowers his health to 110. The TF2 Scout is just able to tank a little bit more damage, so this round goes to TF2.
I mean, I think I'm going to pull for Team Fortress
But
2 in
Scout
every
isn't
one of
exactly
these.
known for his tankiness. He's
Well-
all about speed. And when it comes to run speed,
Might
well,
go.
Scout's actually
I can think of a
tied
couple
at
TF2
33%.
classes.
So that would make this round the tie.
Yeah?
Each version of the Scout does have their own unique abilities, though.
Like,
One thing that
Scout
every
has double
class in
jump.
Team Fortress Classic can do that I actually didn't mention in the previous video is bunny hop. It
What?
exists to a very small degree in
He
TF2,
just jumped
but
across
it's
2
nothing
for
like
it.
it is in TFC. If you didn't know, bunny hopping is
Bunny hop,
technically
yeah.
an exploit that allows you to maintain air acceleration speeds by jumping,
Sour
air straightening,
spaghetti.
and jumping again at the exact moment that you land. That's probably a terrible and way oversimplified explanation, but you get the general idea. And if you're good enough at it, you can do some pretty crazy stuff with it.
You can do in,
Some really options that aren't
Titanfall,
really
too.
Available in TF2. I didn't talk about bunny hopping in the heavy video, but the TFC heavy can of course do it too.
A bunny hopping heavy.
On the 1v1. The
Just
TF2
running
Scout
past
can't
them.
bunny hop like that, but he can
He can
double jump, which is not something the original Scout can do. What the original Scout can do
I don't know
is
which one's
undisguise
better.
spies just by touching them.
Oh.
It's kind of a weird mechanic that was never carried
Why?
out in the sequel. The TFC Scout can also disarm and destroy Demoman's jetpacks just by touching them. And
That's
the TFC
sick.
Scout also has the unique alt-fire ability to display the status of each team's flag and capture the flag. Yeah, you just right-click and then
What?
bam, you can see the flag status.
That got added into the game. Why?
Which is,
But it
just
only
something
shows
that's
up-
built into the HUD in TF2.
Yeah.
But, hey, an ability is an ability, I guess. The Scout in
But
Team
it
Fortress
doesn't
2
count
has the unique
as a
ability
plus or
of
minus here.
naturally capping points and payload carts at twice the rate of the other classes. Now,
It does?
And probably will make
Wait.
a whole video comparing TF2 and TFC maps and game modes, but the 2x cap rate isn't a thing in TFC and
What?
will only be relevant based on how capture objectives work.
Scout can capture twice
These
as
two characters
fast?
have quite a few different extra abilities, and they're different enough from each other that they're kind of hard to compare.
Yeah, you
Is
can't
something
compare
like
these
bunny
two.
hopping, for example,
Bunny hopping.
better than something like
double
double
jump.
jumping? I mean, if used to its absolute best potential, then yeah, probably. Is that a fair way to judge?
I think bunny
don't know.
hopping's better.
I'm gonna have to give the cop-out answer here and just say this round is also a tie. Trust
Oh,
me,
God.
it's not gonna make a difference in the end.
Oh, okay.
But running fast and bunny
Grenades.
hopping aren't the extent of the classic Scout's
Granada.
Like the other TFC classes, the Scout can grenade jump. But he also has
Wait.
arguably the best tool for grenade jumping, the concussion
Bunny.
grenade,
Oh, wait.
which is exclusive to only Scout and Medic. The concussion
Huh?
grenade won't damage the target, but it will cause
Oh.
back and distort their aim. This will have the same effect on the user, which allows you to make
Whoa-
use of
oh
knockback
my-
without taking any self damage like you would with
Oh.
a regular grenade.
Whoa.
And Scout is actually
Whoa.
the only TFC class not to have
Imagine
a
doing
regular
that in, like,
grenade
VR.
or grenade slots. Instead, he has a concussion grenade and caltrops. The caltrops will deal
that
9
what those are
damage
called?
if stepped on and reduce the target's speed, with the penalty increasing the more that are stepped on.
Ow.
According to the wiki, the penalty can be removed
Passing.
by passing through a door.
Wha-
And I
Just-
don't really
just
know
any-
if that includes any door, but it will go away if you go back to spawn. It's also worth noting that the
okay.
Scout who dropped them can also be affected by his own caltrops, which isn't exactly ideal.
Oh, that's
I'm not
annoying.
really
I
totally
hate
sure
those
how
mechanics.
useful the caltrops are considered in TFC,
It's like Girardi.
but since in the sequel the Scout has no grenades of any kind, of course the TFC Scout is going to win this round. by
Of
default.
course. You're gonna win the grenade round because you're the one
Like
with the
most of the
grenades.
classes in TFC,
Melee.
the Scout uses the crowbar as his melee weapon. And like the Heavy's crowbar, it only
I think
deals
TF2 wins this
18
one.
damage, which, like I mentioned in the previous video, is almost half
Scout.
of the Bat's base damage of 35.
When Scout
And
has
just
the
like in
worst
first
melee.
video, we'll be comparing how quickly Scout's weapons can deal 100 damage, versus a no armor heavy in TFC and a big earner spy in TF2, both of which have exactly 100 health.
100, yeah.
And unsurprisingly, the Bat kills much quicker, taking
Way
only 3
faster.
hits in 1.2 seconds, while the crowbar takes double the hits in 2.02 seconds. Funny enough, despite the Bat being the fastest swinging melee weapon in TF2, the crowbar actually swings about 25% faster. But a 25% faster swing speed, for a
50%, yeah.
damage penalty
That also means
would still be a
you gotta hit
really
more
bad
shots.
weapon. So yeah,
And
TF2
hit rate's
wins
terrible.
this round.
So far, Scout's
I guess
winning
we're gonna
this.
call this next round the shotgun.
Well,
round.
actually, I don't know how.
The classic Scout uses
grenades?
the single-barreled shotgun as his second slot weapon, while the TF2 Scout uses the scattergun as his primary. And if you watched the previous video, then you know what I think of the single-barreled shotgun.
It's awful.
It's terrible. It
Why would
fires
anybody
fast, it
play
reloads
Scout
fast,
from
and
Team
holds up to
Fortress
8
Classic?
shots, but its maximum damage, if every pellet connects, is only 24.
Why
It's a
would
shotgun
anybody
that
play
only
this
deals
class
24 damage
ever?
at point-blank range. For comparison, one singular pellet from Scout's pistol in TF2 deals 22 up close. The single-barrel shotgun is basically a direct downgrade to the double-barreled shotgun in TFC, and the scattergun is basically a direct upgrade to the shotgun in TF2. And the regular
Okay.
shotgun in TF2 is better than the double-barreled shotgun in TFC.
Yes.
So that means that the single-barreled shotgun
Is
has
better.
absolutely no chance here. The scattergun may fire slower, reload slower, and holds 2 less shots, but its
But
maximum damage
way
is
more
more
damage.
than 4 times higher, dealing up to 104 damage at close range. 104
Before
damage
heavy.
is almost enough to just outright one-shot the TFC Scout. With the
Yeah.
Force nature and its slightly higher maximum damage,
Almost,
he would
I
be able
think.
to one-shot him.
Yeah.
Which is why we don't consider unlocks for this.
I have an
It's
Australian
kind of
one.
overkill.
I
So
love
at
my
close
Australian
range,
Force of
with
Nature.
Every pellet connecting, the single-barreled shotgun takes 2.06 seconds.
It'll
and
absolutely-
5 shots. To
Yeah,
kill
it'll
the heavy,
kill one shot.
And the scattergun just insta-kills the spy
0.05.
with one shot. But hey, from further distances, the single-barreled
There's
shotgun
no
actually has the
drop-off.
advantage because damage in TFC doesn't have fall-off. But that's really about it. You're not going to be using either weapon from long range, so it's not.
You're a scout. You're supposed to be fast.
TF2 and the scattergun handily win this round 2.
Handily.
This next round we're going to call
rapid
the
fire?
Rapid Fire weapon round, where we look at the last weapon for each scout: the nail gun and the pistol. The nail gun is probably most comparable to the syringe gun in TF2. It
that's not good.
Semi-slow, weak projectiles, but the nails will go in a straight line and not arc downwards like syringes do.
Oh, they don't arc?
Each of these nails has a damage of 9, which is 40% less than the pistol's base damage of 15.
No ramp up.
But the nails, of course, deal 9 damage regardless of range.
Fire rate, no reload.
Very fast, about 35% faster than the pistol, and never needs to reload. It carries a maximum of
It's probably better.
And can fire
Nail gun might be better here.
Stop. The nail gun takes 1.12 seconds to deal 100 damage at close range.
That's also close range.
0.65 seconds.
Like, ramp up.
Like the single-barreled shotgun, it starts to do comparatively better at longer distances.
Way better.
Technically, the nail gun can deal more damage faster than the single-barreled shotgun.
Also doesn't have
range,
doesn't have
technically
ammo.
Be better than the pistol at mid-range. That is until the target actually starts, moving.
Oh, you gotta hit the
shots.
shots.
You can have a constant stream of these nails, but the projectiles
and
are slow and very weak.
Oh, okay.
The
projectiles, not hit scan.
You'll have to predict their movement while they're also attacking you.
Well, it's a slow move projectile.
It's only 9 damage per hit. Unless you're targeting a sentry or someone who's AFK, the pistol just does the job better. The fact that the pistol's a hit scan weapon means you just don't have to worry about the projectile travel time, and it just makes it so much more consistent. And that's even with the pistol's bullet spread. If this was a secondary unlock for Scout and TF2, it might be kind of fun to mess around with, but I can't say
it's a syringe gun.
The thing is, though, if it was a secondary unlock in TF2, you would still have your primary weapon. The TFC Scout doesn't really have anything that you could consider a primary weapon. All 3 of his weapons are just kind of weak. And if this was a primary unlock for Scout in TF2, it would be one of the worst weapons in the game.
Oh, wait, 2 shotguns.
So, yet again, another round goes to TF2.
TF2's gonna win this, no doubt.
Now, for the
final round. No, it's not gonna make a difference.
1v1. The original classic Scout, or the... Yeah, you already know the TF2 Scout.
Yeah, this wasn't even a close.
The TFC Scout just gets obliterated. He loses in every category except grenades and mobility.
And bunny hopping.
And that's if we're assuming that the TFC Scout, as a character, has fully mastered both bunny hopping and grenade jumping to their maximum potential.
Yep.
Then, yes,
well, also grenade
damage. Does have the mobility advantage. But I'm not
TFC
totally
Scout
sure
doesn't
how
get
fair it is to
those
judge
grenades
bunny hopping as a stat off its absolute best theoretical uses. Then again, I guess we would extend that best case scenario top level play to the TF2 Scout as well, so it's only fair. But as far as those absolute best case scenarios go, the TFC Scout could kill a full health TF2 Scout with 14 shots from the nail gun in 1.33 seconds
shots.
if he was standing right next to him, and the TF2 Scout was just standing still and not putting up
and not
any
fighting,
kind of fight at
which
all.
is not what's going to happen.
For the best case for the TF2 Scout, he kills the TFC Scout in 0.633 seconds with 2 shots from the scattergun at close range. Not only does the TFC Scout's time more than double the TF2 Scout's, but it requires the TF2 Scout to be doing absolutely nothing. This isn't even fair.
Yeah, it's not. That's not a situation that you can actually like compare.
I mean, come on now. Imagine one-shotting with a Force Nature, or with the Criticola, you could basically one-shot with any primary weapon. We could use a short stop for the range advantage. I mean, stop. He's already dead. The TFC Scout has no legitimate path to victory. I guess maybe he would stun the TF2 Scout with a concussion grenade, and then maybe the TFC Scout misses every possible shot, and the TFC Scout has perfect aim with the shotgun. Then, no, it's not even then. I know that the outcomes of these videos
this was a romble stop.
Analytical as possible.
Why is he not going after the healer? There you go. That's the medic.
But if we applied these stats to those characters, then man, if this was the best the TFC Scout could do at his prime, then Nigel Thornberry over here is lucky he never had a run-in with the TF2 Scout. He's dead instantly.
Who's that?
This is like 4 years later. Yeah, he's dead.
Is that the spy from Team Fortress Classic?
Just how close the heavy match actually ended up being, and how much the TF2 Scout lives and dies by that scattergun. In the first game, the Scout was really just much more of a scout. He wasn't really meant to be attacking. He was supposed to be out there capturing objectives, and that's really it. That's really all he could do. If the Scout in Team Fortress 2 can
cap twice as fast
weapon like he was originally going to, then he probably would have ended up with the same fate. But the scattergun drastically shifted how the class would be played, and for the better, I think. So I know this basically ended up being a completely unfair match, but that's also what makes this fun.
Well, yeah, it's a comparison. It's not supposed to be an even match.
Poor Greg, the man never had a chance.
No.
But hey, that was the Scout episode. Thanks for watching, and of course a special thanks to my patrons like Varric, Captain Forex, Egox, Dex, Zero,
I also have a Patreon.
Vinegar, Gaponicus,
Probably vinegar.
Guzman's Fox, Kyber 96, Scout with a Name, Glump, Salt God,
That's such a
Lavi,
funny
Taupe,
name.
Man of Jazz, and Time Consuming. Alright, okay.
Okay.
Peace out, dogs.
Okay, that was interesting. I think the next one's gonna be what, Pyro? I think the next one's gonna be Pyro. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's Pyro, which came out 3 months ago, and he's putting these out every 3 months, so there should be a new one coming very, very soon. So do you agree or disagree? This, I feel like this is like indisputable. You can't really say Team Fortress Classic Heavy or Scout was supposed to win this at all. Definitely was not. Team Fortress 2 Scout definitely wins. Love playing Scout in Team Fortress 2. I wish I was better as Scout. I love playing fast nuisance characters, but it's also because I'm still relatively new to Team Fortress 2. Well, compared to everybody else. If I had been playing the game for when it came out, I would do much better at Scout. But I've only been playing for a couple years. I only get to play during the live stream, which happens every Friday, Team Fortress Friday. I play on Uncle Topia servers. You're more than welcome to join or watch the stream. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I love learning about Team Fortress Classic and even about Team Fortress 2. Learn some new stuff about Team Fortress 2. I didn't know Scout could cap stuff twice as fast. So learn something new every day, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully made your day better. But until the next video, take care, and cue the music.